Okay, here is the finished applique Christmas tree. It looks really pretty. And what I did was I took one of my needles and I kind of scored it against the fabric in a pattern that I would like to showcase the stitchery in a garland. And when you score it, you get a crease mark. And this is the first time I've done this, so I'm going to see if it'll last. Otherwise, the most common option would be to use a pencil to lightly draw your guidelines for the stitches. But I'm going to see how this goes. If it doesn't work out, then I'll certainly resort to the pencil, or if this is just a practice piece, you can also use a micron marker, which is a very fine tip drawing, non-acid, so it's not going to it's permanent, but it won't like spread on your fabric like some markers. When you put it on cotton fibers, it wants to wick and spread and make a much thicker line than you intend. So this is a good quality marker, but like I said, you can also just use a soft lead pencil as well. I'm going to go ahead and thread my needle with the first color, and what you do is you put the shaft through the eye of the needle, then you lay your thread on top of the hook, and then you just pull it through gently until it comes through. Now with cotton fibers, normally there's a twist, and if you run your fingers along the fibers, sometimes you'll feel a little more resistance in one direction versus the other. When you slide your fingers and you detect the one side that's slicker, that's the side that you want your knot to be on, so that when you're running your stitches through the fabric, the fibers are not working against you. They're kind of helping you along in making the stitches, and you'll have less fraying if you do that. Okay, the first stitch I will be doing is called a purl stitch. And what you want to do is bring your needle from the back to the front, and then you pull. Then you take a stitch about 1/4 inch away from where you began, and it's about a scant 1/8 of an inch, I would say. And then you want to pull your needle through. And then with the tip of your needle, you want to run it underneath that stitch. And then turn the needle clockwise until the tip is facing 10 o'clock. Then with your thread, you want to wrap it once, twice, and pull. And you notice with my thumb, I'm holding tension on that little knot. And there you go. And that's called a purl stitch. Once again, I will take a stitch about 1/4 inch away, and pull. Then with the tip of my needle, I'll go underneath, rotate clockwise till the tip is pointing at 10 o'clock. And then with your thread, this is the lead thread, not the thread where the tail is. You wrap it under the needle over, and you just pinch that knot that you created and pull. I'm sorry if I was off the camera angle. There you go. Makes like a little bead stitch almost. Once again, quarter of an inch away, take a stitch, pull, feed the needle under the stitch, clockwise direction, rotate until the tip of the needle is pointing 10 o'clock. Then you wrap the thread once, twice, pinch, and pull. Okay, and then you just continue on. Now the further spaced apart, I mean, I think it exaggerates the knots a little. This one was a little closer together, so you can play around with that. Now I did unthread my needle, so I'll go ahead and use my other threader so you can see how that works. Just push it through, put the thread in the hole, and pull the thread through the eye. So once again, take a stitch from right to left, about a quarter inch away, pull, needle under the thread, rotate clockwise, wrap it under, over, pinch, and release. I think I have room for maybe 2 or 3 more stitches. And then to end this row of stitches, I will simply go down into the edge of the applique and end it that way. That's pretty cool. And in the back, we will secure a stitch and then run our needle through the loop twice and pull to knot. There is your first row complete.